What does it truly mean to be wealthy? Is it the size of your bank account, the luxury of your possessions, or the prestige of your social status? These are questions that have puzzled humanity for millennia. However, perhaps no philosophical tradition has provided more profound and practical insights into the nature of wealth than Stoicism. Founded in Athens around 300 BCE, Stoicism offers a radical perspective on wealth that resonates powerfully in our modern age, dominated by consumerism and social comparison. The Stoics didn't equate wealth with material abundance or external markers of success. Instead, they viewed true wealth as an internal state, one characterized by self-sufficiency, moderated desires, and inner freedom. This Stoic view offers a refreshing alternative in a world where we are constantly bombarded with messages equating happiness with acquisition. It challenges us to look beyond the superficial trappings of wealth and consider what truly enriches our lives. True wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants, said Epictetus, a formerly enslaved person who became one of Stoicism's most influential teachers. This simple yet profound statement encapsulates the Stoic approach to wealth. It suggests that true richness comes not from accumulating more, but from needing less. Seneca, another towering figure in Stoic philosophy, echoed this sentiment when he wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." These words cut to the heart of our modern dilemma, the endless cycle of desire and dissatisfaction that keeps us chasing after the next big thing, never quite satisfied with what we have. But the Stoics didn't just criticize the pursuit of wealth, they offered a constructive alternative. They advocated for a life of virtue, self-discipline, and inner cultivation. "He is the most powerful person who has power over himself," Seneca advised, pointing to self-mastery as the ultimate form of wealth. This perspective invites us to redefine what it means to live a prosperous life. It encourages us to look inward for fulfillment rather than constantly seeking it in external circumstances. The Stoics teach us that true wealth lies in our ability to find contentment in the present moment, cultivate wisdom and courage, and live in harmony with our deepest values. In this video, we'll explore the Stoic approach to wealth. We'll examine how to define personal wealth in a way that aligns with our authentic selves, not societal expectations. We'll discuss the liberating practice of knowing what is enough and how it can free us from the tyranny of endless wants. We'll also delve into the counterintuitive Stoic practice of voluntary poverty, a powerful tool for cultivating gratitude and resilience. And we'll explore how to build genuine, lasting wealth by developing our inner resources and living a life of purpose and integrity. The wisdom of the Stoics offers us a pathway to a more prosperous, meaningful existence. It shows us that the wealthiest life is not filled with the most possessions, but the one most aligned with our values, most at peace with itself, and most open to the richness of the human experience. The Stoic view on wealth. The Stoics, through their keen observations and life experiences, developed a profound understanding of the paradoxical nature of material wealth. Their insights challenge our conventional notions of what it means to be rich, offering a perspective that is both enlightening and liberating. Let's begin with Seneca, one of the most influential Stoic philosophers. In one of his letters, he writes, "Money doesn't make you rich. These individuals have riches just as we say we have a fever when the fever really has us." This powerful metaphor reveals Seneca's view that wealth often possesses people rather than the other way around. Seneca observed that many wealthy individuals in Rome were paradoxically among the poorest in spirit. Money had made them obsessive, controlled their schedules, and surrounded them with insincere flatterers. Instead of providing freedom, Their wealth had become a burden, enslaving them to constant worry and the fear of loss. This idea is echoed in another of Seneca's quotes. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor. Here, Seneca points to the greedy nature of desire. No matter how much wealth one accumulates, one remains spiritually impoverished if the craving for more persists. Epictetus, another towering figure in Stoic philosophy, shared this perspective. A formerly enslaved person who gained his freedom and became a respected teacher, Epictetus had unique insight into the true nature of wealth and liberty. He once shared a story about a man who had been offered a lucrative job by Emperor Augustus. The man came to Epictetus, boasting about the money and fame he would gain. Epictetus, however, was unimpressed. He responded with probing questions that cut to the heart of what truly matters in life. "I told him not to touch it," Epictetus told his students. When the man protested that he would make a lot of money, Epictetus replied, "Yes, but at what cost?" The man argued that many people would learn his name, to which Epictetus asked, "Are you planning to be there every time someone utters your name?" When the man said his name would outlive him, Epictetus said, "So will a rock you carve your name into." Finally, when the man boasted about wearing a gold crown, Epictetus delivered the coup de grace. "And they will put a crown made of roses on you for your funeral. You will look even more elegant in that." Through this dialogue, Epictetus demonstrates the fleeting and unsatisfying nature of external markers of wealth and success. He encourages us to look beyond surface-level gains and consider the true cost of pursuing wealth, the sacrifices, compromises, and spiritual poverty that often accompany it. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher king, also weighed in on this topic. He famously said, "We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own." This observation highlights how our perception of wealth is often shaped more by societal expectations and the judgments of others than by our values and sense of fulfillment. The Stoics recognized that true wealth comes from within, from a state of inner freedom, contentment, and self-mastery. As Epictetus put it, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. This radical redefinition of wealth shifts our focus from external accumulation to internal cultivation. By moderating our desires, cultivating contentment with what we have, and developing our inner resources, the Stoics argue that we can achieve wealth far more durable and satisfying than material riches. These ancient insights challenge us to re-evaluate our modern notions of wealth and success. They invite us to consider, are we genuinely enriched by the size of our bank accounts or the number of possessions we accumulate? Or can we find a deeper, more enduring form of richness by mastering ourselves, moderating our desires, and focusing on what truly matters in life? The Stoic view on wealth offers us a path to freedom. Freedom from the endless cycle of desire and dissatisfaction, freedom from the tyranny of others' opinions, and freedom to live a life aligned with our deepest values. In embracing this perspective, we open ourselves to a form of wealth that no market crash can diminish and no thief can steal, the wealth of a life well lived. Defining personal wealth. A Stoic approach. In exploring the Stoic perspective on wealth, we now turn to a crucial concept, defining personal wealth. The Stoics recognize that true richness is deeply subjective and extends beyond mere financial abundance. Let's begin with a powerful quote from Epictetus. "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." This statement encapsulates the Stoic approach to personal wealth. It suggests that our richness is not determined by what we own, but by our relationship to our desires. Consider for a moment what a rich life means to you. Is it the freedom to travel the world, the ability to spend quality time with loved ones, the opportunity to pursue meaningful work, or the simple pleasure of a quiet life free from financial stress? The answers to these questions will vary significantly from person to person. Some may find wealth in a life of adventure and new experiences, while others may see it in the depth of their relationships or the impact of their work. Still, others define wealth as the freedom to live unburdened by excessive possessions or obligations. As the Stoics teach, the richest person is not one who has the most but needs the least. This perspective invites us to shift our focus from accumulation to contentment. Instead of constantly striving for more, we can cultivate satisfaction with what we already have. This doesn't mean we should abandon all ambition or desire for improvement. Instead, it encourages us to be mindful of our wants and distinguish between what we truly need for a fulfilling life and what society tells us we should want. The Stoics also emphasize the importance of self-sufficiency in defining personal wealth. Another prominent Stoic philosopher advised, "Make yourself wealthy not by facilitating every whim, but by removing them." This suggests that true wealth comes from our ability to meet our needs and find contentment within ourselves, rather than relying on external sources for our happiness. Consider the difference between someone who needs constant entertainment, luxury, and validation to feel satisfied, and someone who can find joy in simple pleasures, meaningful work, and their own company. Who in this scenario is truly wealthier? The Stoic approach to personal wealth also emphasizes the value of intangible riches, wisdom, virtue, meaningful relationships, and peace of mind. These are forms of wealth that can't be measured in monetary terms, but are invaluable to a well-lived life. As Epictetus reminds us, he is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. By defining personal wealth in these terms, we free ourselves from the constant pressure to keep up with others or to chase after external markers of success. Instead, we can focus on cultivating a life that aligns with our values, fulfills our needs, and brings us genuine satisfaction. This Stoic approach to wealth challenges the consumerist mindset that equates happiness with acquisition. It invites us to redefine what it means to be rich in a way that reflects our authentic selves, rather than societal expectations. And in doing so, it opens up the possibility of a more fulfilling and meaningful life, one that is truly rich in the most profound sense. The practice of voluntary poverty. One of the most striking practices advocated by the Stoics for cultivating contentment and resilience is the practice of voluntary poverty. This practice, though seemingly radical, is a powerful tool for building inner strength and gaining a deeper appreciation for the essentials in life. Seneca, who was both immensely wealthy and a committed Stoic, frequently engaged in the practice of voluntary poverty. He would set aside days where he would live with only the barest necessities, eating the simplest food, wearing rough clothing, and sleeping on a hard bed. Why would someone of Seneca's status willingly subject himself to such discomfort? The answer lies in the Stoic belief that by regularly experiencing voluntary deprivation, we can build resilience, cultivate gratitude, and free ourselves from the fear of loss. Seneca explained, "Set aside a certain number of days, during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare, with coarse and rough dress, saying to yourself all the while, 'Is this the condition that I feared?' This practice serves as a reminder that we can endure far more than we think, and that true happiness doesn't depend on luxury or abundance. It also helps us confront our fears about losing our wealth or status, showing us that we can still live well, even with very little." By practicing voluntary poverty, the Stoics believed that we could gain a more accurate perspective on what is essential for a good life. We learn to differentiate between our needs and wants, to appreciate the simple things we often take for granted. and to recognize that our well-being is not tied to our possessions or external circumstances. This practice also aligns with the Stoic principle of living in harmony with nature. By stripping away excess and focusing on the basics, we can reconnect with the natural rhythm of life and find contentment in simplicity. Voluntary poverty is not about self-denial or asceticism for its own sake. It's a way to strengthen our inner resources, build resilience against adversity, and cultivate a sense of gratitude and contentment. In a world where we are constantly encouraged to want more, to upgrade, and to seek comfort, the practice of voluntary poverty offers a powerful counterbalance. It reminds us that we are more than our possessions, that our happiness doesn't depend on luxury, and that true wealth is found within. Building lasting wealth, a Stoic guide. While the Stoics cautioned against the pursuit of material wealth for its own sake, they didn't advocate for poverty or the rejection of wealth either. Instead, they emphasized the importance of building a form of wealth that is resilient, enduring, and aligned with our values. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus taught, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." This idea of wealth is about cultivating contentment, simplicity, and self-sufficiency, rather than chasing after external markers of success. But how do we build this kind of wealth in a practical sense? The Stoics offered several guiding principles for achieving lasting wealth. First, they emphasized the importance of self-mastery. Seneca wrote, "He is the most powerful who has power over himself." This means developing the discipline to control our desires, manage our emotions, and make decisions that align with our long-term well-being rather than short-term gratification. By mastering ourselves, we gain the freedom to live according to our values and goals rather than being driven by external pressures or fleeting desires. Second, the Stoics advocated for cultivating wisdom. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, advised, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." By nurturing our minds, seeking knowledge, and cultivating a wise perspective, we can make better decisions, avoid unnecessary suffering, and live a more fulfilling life. Wisdom helps us recognize what is truly valuable and what is not, allowing us to focus our efforts on what genuinely enriches our lives. Third, the Stoics encouraged us to build wealth through meaningful work. They believed that true fulfillment comes from contributing to the greater good, using our skills and talents to make a positive impact. As Seneca wrote, "Life is long if you know how to use it." By engaging in work that aligns with our values and purpose, we can create a legacy that extends beyond material wealth, a legacy of service, contribution, and integrity. Finally, the Stoics taught the importance of community and relationships. Marcus Aurelius reminded us that we are made for cooperation, like feet, like hands, like eyelids, like the rows of the upper and lower teeth. True wealth includes the richness of our connections with others, family, friends, colleagues, and the broader community. By nurturing these relationships, we build a support system that can help us through difficult times and add meaning to our lives. In summary, the Stoic Guide to Building Lasting Wealth emphasizes self-mastery, wisdom, meaningful work, and strong relationships. These are the pillars of a rich and fulfilling life, providing a stable foundation that no external circumstance can shake. By focusing on these areas, we can create a form of wealth that is not only durable, but also deeply satisfying and aligned with our true nature. The wealth of a well-lived life. The Stoic approach to wealth offers a radical and refreshing perspective in a world that often equates success with accumulation. The Stoics remind us that true wealth is not about how much we have, but about how little we need to live a fulfilling life. By cultivating self-mastery, wisdom, contentment, and meaningful relationships, we can build a form of wealth that is resilient, enduring, and deeply satisfying. This wealth is not vulnerable to market fluctuations, theft, or loss. It is the wealth of a life well lived. In embracing the Stoic view of wealth, we free ourselves from the constant pressure to keep up with others or to chase after external markers of success. Instead, we can focus on what truly matters, living according to our values, contributing to the greater good, and finding contentment in the present moment. As we conclude this exploration of Stoic wealth, let us remember the words of Epictetus. He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. By adopting this mindset, we can live richer lives, lives filled not with material abundance, but with the true wealth of wisdom, virtue, and inner peace. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the Stoic philosophy of wealth. If you found value in these teachings, please give the video a thumbs up, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. Remember, true wealth lies in living a life of purpose, wisdom, and contentment. Until next time, stay wise and keep seeking what truly matters.